us in storming the coral snake's hideout. I've been questioning Hugo, the bandit we took into custody, but he refuses to answer any of my questions. In fact, the lad's been sent back to his cell for now, but perhaps I could trouble you to talk with him. I seem to recall that he recognized you. Are you acquainted? At any rate, methinks you might have more success loosening his lips than I.
Friendly place.
So you're the one Benjamin sent to get the whelp to talk, eh? Well, go on then. Don't dawdle, and I'll thank you not to distract the jailers from their charge.
Do you know how long you'll be? I only asked so that I might adopt the most effective stance to recuperate my strength.
I suppose all we can do is wait.
What are you here for, huh? Come to give me your pity? Or just have a laugh? I'll not suffer either. Piss off.
Ort's got the whelp's tongue as per usual. I would have thought he'd be glad to start spilling secrets. The leader of the coral snakes left him for dead, didn't he? Not sure what's keeping him quiet, but 'twould only be to his benefit were he to tell us all he knows.
Oi, enough talk. You've a prisoner to watch.
Yes, sir. Apologies, sir.
Just piss off. I ain't interested in talk, but Lanzo was just using me all along. My parents were killed by brigands, and I've no doubt I'd have followed them to an early grave if Lanzo hadn't taken me in. He made me a part of the coral snakes, gave me a home, a life. I wanted to repay him however I could, so I did. I know it ain't right to steal, but I thought I could use all that gold I filched to help someone, like Lanzo did for me. I didn't take it for myself, it was for the poor. I wanted to give people a chance to choose a better path in life, instead of ending up like me. That's why I did the things I did. Understand? And I don't believe for a moment that Lanzo meant what he said to me in the hideout. 'Twas all an act. So if you're waiting for me to talk, cuz, don't hold your breath. That's why I did the thing, and I don't believe for a moment that...
What are ye doing here? Come to laugh at me, have ye? Suppose it must make ye feel a hero, seeing the man ye caught yourself sitting behind bars. But ye ain't fool enough to think the Empress is safe now I'm in here, are ye? Coin's a fine thing. Even in a place like this, it's got its uses. Reckon ye must be touched in the head, giving coin to a would-be murderer just to hear his story. Still, suppose I'm no longer a part of this, so I'll tell ye a little something, as thanks for your generosity, cuz. I got this job by way of the coral snakes. I only did as I was instructed. If you want to know who hired them in the first place, you're best off asking a snake. Lucky for ye, there's one right here in the jail. Reckon ye must be touched. Suppose I got this job. If you want to know who I...
Do you want a way to release the whelp sooner? Well, there might be a... I've not the authority to promise such a favour, but that doesn't mean no one does. The head jailer, for instance. I reckon he could get the lad his freedom, if you made it worth his while.
Aye, what can I do for you? Oh, you want the bandit whelp released, do you? I suppose I could consider it. Aye, being head jailer has its privileges. I could accommodate such a request if I were so inclined. Of course, you'd need to prove your integrity first. I can't go around unlocking cells for just anyone. Aye, you've made your case well. I'll see to it that the request for the lad's release is put through. But you might have to be patient. One cannot rush these things.
That's why I did the thing, and I don't believe for a moment.
I reckon they had judgment. You had naught.
Pray, make for the jail, and
Good day, sir.
Ah, well met. You'll be glad to hear we've succeeded in capturing another of the coral snakes. Fortunately for us, this one started talking the moment a bargain of acquittal was mentioned. Mayhap through speaking with him, we might discern some means of loosening Hugo's tongue.
To try to enjoy life where and when I can.
So tired. I've barely...
Who are you supposed to be then, eh? Quit staring. Wait, you're one of the ones that came crawling into our hideout. Ah, ain't funny really. But seeing you's reminded me of that bleeding runt's face. I'm talking about Hugo, of course. Didn't you hear him sobbing as we left? Lanzo, why? Boo-hoo! Bet he's still crying over it, eh? Like a babe without its mum. Of course, Lanzo's already forgotten about the poor sod. Was right glad to be rid of him, truth be told.
That blackguard. Oh, it tells me there's more to his tale. Not sure I can stomach it, mind.
Hugo's been following Lanzo around ever since he was a kid. Wouldn't quit it neither, even when it got him a beating. Still, there's a use for whelps like him. Guards aren't like to throw a brat in jail for pocketing a few trinkets, eh? They can earn their own living that way. When one shop starts getting suspicious, they just move on to another. Easy pickings for a kid. And having a few whelps along makes setting up in a new town a trice. The guards don't suspect a thing. But Hugo had gotten too big for that, see? We'd run out of uses for him. Well, save throwing him to the dogs, so as we could make our escape. Hard to believe the lad never figured out we was using him. Real loggerhead, that one. Did he ever tell you his story? About how his parents were killed by brigands or some such? Couldn't be more obvious who that was, eh? Ah, his mum was a comely lass. Don't remember a thing about his da. We roughed them up, had a bit of fun. Emptied their purses and the like. Lanzo slit their throats himself. 'Twas hard not to laugh, watching daft little Hugo grow up, hanging off Lanzo's bootstraps and never questioning a damn thing. We've a new hideout now, over on the ancient battleground. Aye, I ain't afraid to tell you that. I might owe Lanzo a favour or two, but not enough to rot in here for him. In fact, why don't you go pay him a visit, eh? Ain't right that I'm the only one in this hole. With a new hideout now, ain't fair for me to be the only one with a...
What do you want now? Oi. Listen. Do you think someone like me could live an honest life after all that's happened? Come off here. You don't mean that. You're serious. always wanted to try. Earning an honest living, I mean. But what could I do? Not sure as I've many skills, save picking pockets. Suppose that dream was a crock of shite from the start. I ain't leaving this cell, let alone finding decent work. I've no relations, no coin for a decent bribe. I'll probably rot in here till I breathe my wretched last. But what could I do? I've no relations.
I reckon the head jailer could... Just remember, you had no...
Greetings, sir. You hear about the whelp, I presume? I've not forgotten our arrangement. But I'm afraid things aren't going as smoothly as I'd hoped. It's my superiors, you see. They understand that there are some extenuating circumstances, but the lad's still a thief. They're not convinced he should be released so soon. Normally, I'd let the matter lie, but methinks I could find the courage to try again with only a little motivation. What say you, sir? Have you any words of encouragement for me? Aye, that's just what I needed to hear. I'll see about securing the lad's release anon. You really must care for the whelp to go so far for him. Let's hope he's worth it, eh?
You know who you're dealing with. Bugger off if you want to see the morrow.
I just thought it was better than to have the further. It might then must have been a better way. I shan't allow any further harm to come to you. I knew you would prevail, Master.
Would seem I've some catching up to do.
Mayhap it was somewhat overdone, but no matter.
Have no fear, Master. I'll fare all right without you for a little while.
Hoy, I've glad tidings for you today, sir. 'Twas no mean feat, but my superiors have finally agreed to the whelp's release. He'll be out of his cell before you know it. How's that, eh? Worthy of a little gratitude, I should think. Aye, 'tis only proper we thank those who do us a service. And gratitude comes in all forms, as they say. Aye, that will do nicely. I feel well appreciated. Now the lad will be released, and all of us the happier for it. You for his freedom, me for a job well done.
You're free to go, lad. What? Aren't you glad for your freedom? You're lucky to be out of this, you know?
Aye. But what am I supposed to do now?
Just live an honest life. No more stealing. I think you have it in you.
Fancy words. Do you shine your shoes with him?
Off with ya. And don't you come back now.
Aye. You can count on that. Was it you who got me released? Suppose I should be grateful, but what am I to do now? Easy for him to talk of an honest life, but I've nowhere to turn. No one's gonna want me working for him. You know of a place I could work? Where? You think I could work there? For true? What? You went out and looked for a job for me? But why? Why would you put yourself to all that trouble? Give it a try, I suppose. Not sure how it'll turn out, but it's a start at least. I'll do my best not to make a mess of it. Oh, and thank you, cuz.